Sup, bitches? It's me and my half-white brother, Mr. Eric. Eric. What's up, player?
Meeting.
Yeah, eating some good sushi, you know what I mean? It's pretty good. Today, me with my non-gelled hair, Eric, we used to, we met in the same guest house a while back. And you actually worked for a game company in Japan, didn't you?
I did.
Are you at liberty to say what game? Like, you're not under contract clause or whatever?
No, I work for Square Enix.
You work for Square Enix? Shit, dude. And how's your Japanese? Are you cho para?
No, not at all.
No, you can't speak Japanese, and he works for Square Enix. Why? What were you doing at Square Enix?
I was working on the research team, where we try to develop future technologies for games. So I did stuff in like graphics and AI. It's funny.
Oh, that's cool. Did you work on any games in specific that I might know, like Final Fantasy 13 or something?
No.
Nah.
Nothing that's been released.
Sucks. So now you're like you went back home and came back to Japan. What got you into Japan? What got its fingers up your crack to tickle the prostate for how did Japan do that?
Video games.
Video games. What about anime?
Definitely anime. Obviously anime, manga. I grew up this generation grew up where Konami, Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon.
Yep. We're the same age, so we're both geeks, and we're both half white. I think that's the thing. We got that shit down first. Good shit. But is it gonna knock my thing? Oh no, it didn't. Cool. So yeah. So Japan's awesome, but you left. So what are you gonna do now?
I left. I finished my master's degree, and then I got a job in California working at Google.
Nice.
So,
do you want to live in Japan again?
Yeah, Japan, Tokyo specifically is my favorite city in the world.
Well, what was so special? Like, what where in California is Google situated or whatever?
It's in like the Bay Area near San Francisco.
Have you been there before?
I mean, yeah, I have friends who live there and visited several times.
But obviously Tokyo's awesome. But this guy, he used to be fatter than me. It's crazy. He lost so much weight. I never saw him when he lost the weight. I saw pictures, but damn. Like, you went from, how many kilos was it, the biggest that you were?
150.
150. I'm 144. Well, I was 144, now I'm 138, but 150. I don't even want to, we're not even going to say that in pounds. It's going to be nice here. But, yeah, being in Japan, you think you lost weight because of kind of being in Japan?
That's a combination. Obviously, it's easier to stick to a diet if you have a set schedule.
Yeah.
So you always have time to exercise or make real food. But also, eating in Japan, even if I wanted to break my diet, it's not as catastrophic as in America. Portion sizes are smaller.
Yeah.
Like fast food is stuff like Titan sushi or Yoshinori beef bowl. It's not as bad as if you went to Denny's in America and got
Grand Slam.
Exactly.
Oh man, I miss the Grand Slam. Actually,
it's delicious, but it's so big.
I don't know, unless I'm starving, I can't ever go back to Denny's. I got really fucking violently sick. And I think I think one of the cooks there had the flu or something. They made it, and they were like, fuck it, you're the only chef, we need you today. And he came in, and he's coughing all over the food and shit.
This is in America?
Yeah, America,
okay.
I think.
Yeah,
and so I got violently, horribly, horrible sore throat.
That's actually the big problem with minimum wage jobs in America is that you have no sick days. And so, in the food industry, people are sick all the time.
Oh, yeah.
It's, terrible.
Yeah.
It's not healthy.
Being poor in America sucks.
It's true. Very not sketchy.
Yeah. Yeah. We're both halfway, and we're both fucking poor assholes, Poor assholes who work for Google. Yeah, buddy.
That's right. Trying to turn your situation around. It's hard work and believing in yourself.
And math.
And math.
And math. Or math or meth?
Math, I don't know.
Math, I don't know. A combination of the both, You can't do math unless you do meth.
Depends on the day of the week.
Yeah. And you can't make meth unless you know math.
Sure.
It's great shit. But, so, tell us, what animes did you like about Japan? We just went and checked out a bunch of Akiba stores. What animes were you into?
Well, I mean, I'm into. I was the president of my anime club, so I'm into a lot of different animes.
Well, what animes recently? Like shit that came out last year and stuff.
Let's see. Recently, I mean, obviously One Piece is continuing. I still like that.
Yeah.
There's Fairy Tail is started last year, I guess, and is continuing. It's nice. I mean, these are a good shonen anime. They're very classic formula of some strong characters fight a slightly stronger enemy, beat him, get a little stronger, fight another stronger enemy.
Oh man, they have that in they have a word for that in Japanese. I totally forgot. It's like tomodachi yusho shorty or something. I forgot what it was, but it's like it basically means like winning with the power of my friends kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
It's used to describe like all the animes and stuff.
Yeah, no, it's pretty true. And then I've done a lot of recent stuff that's good, like Natsume Yujincho, or Natsume's Book of Friends. It's a more mainstream anime, it doesn't have any tits in it.
I like tits. Anime tits.
Fine. They're also like sports anime, like Giant Killing, the soccer anime. Like a current season anime, The Night in the Air. It's about high school kids who play soccer better than most real life adults.
Okay.
Every single sports anime, right? It's like they have ridiculous skills. I don't know if you've ever seen Ice Shield 21.
Yeah.
It's like they have special powers when they're playing football. Like this high school kid goes to like America to do training and accidentally goes to like an NFL tryouts and makes it on like a professional team.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's stuff. I mean, basically, they're sports anime, but they're really fantasy because these kids are doing ridiculous things.
So tell us, like, I guess, like, you guys are probably watching this because you want to hear about his experience as a. How old were you when you came over here to work?
I was so the first time I came over to work, I was 21, I guess. I interned over a summer. You
interned at Square Enix.
Yeah, and then that led to them offering me a full-time job. Which when I came, I was 22, I guess. A normal age. I'm not early or late at the correct timeline for going to school.
So when you worked at Square Enix, like what was it like?
It's like, I mean, so Square Enix is a more westernized company, so they still have their like classic bureaucracy, but it wasn't terrible. So I mean, I could come in anytime between like, as long as I had to be at work between 11 and 4, and besides that, it didn't matter. Yeah, that was like the core time, and then the rest was like flex time, as they called it. They expect you to work on average around 8 hours a day, but that was kind of nice. And then basically I just come in and I do my job. There's some meetings where they tell me what I'm supposed to be doing, but it was a research center in Square Enix, so we had a lot of flexibility.
Were your coworkers like Japanese or Gaijin?
About half and half.
Did the Japanese people speak English?
Not at all.
How did you guys communicate?
Well, so,
did you have to communicate?
Yeah, sometimes. So, like, I mean, I'm not fluent in Japanese at all, but like, I'm about mediocre. So and especially in my domain of computer science,
yes,
I can talk a little more fluently. So that's not too bad. I was able to. We like have meetings, and our meetings we half English, half Japanese. Wow. We had like Italian, British, and people who spoke English.
Were most of the people there like around your age, or were they older?
I think they were like, most of them are probably slightly older, but I mean, most of the people, it was like a younger, actually a mix. I'd say it was a mix. There was maybe slightly tilted toward younger people, but I don't think there were almost any people who were above 40. So, except for like maybe our boss, our manager, or whatever.
Did you, what about, did you get any benefits with the job? Like, did they pay for your health insurance, or did they like pay for your apartment or anything? Or like, were there any side benefits to the job?
There's not like a huge number of side benefits, but they paid for health insurance, and for me at least, they referred me to like a relocation company where they like had a special deal, so I was able to get like a place without having to pay like the agent fee or whatever. Which was not bad. And so that was convenient for when I first came here to get a place.
Square Enix has like a lot of offices too. Did you work in their big fucking building?
Yeah, I worked in the main office. It's in Shinjuku.
That's so cool.
Like Koshu Kaido.
Did you have your own like your little like beep card or whatever to get in?
Yeah, exactly. I think every time you work in any kind of office building in Japan, you'll have to have one of those cards.
Those are so cool though. It's just like swipe it like a credit card.
That's you know, like, most things are like cross, right? So you have to touch them, but then like the time card reader or whatever, you had to swipe. So it was fun. It was pretty fun. I got to go on a bunch of business trips and stuff. So I went to like Seoul and Hong Kong and LA, New Orleans.
Oh, the company paid for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
That was nice.
So wait, but how did you? So the only reason they hired you was because you interned for them. How did you get hooked up with that internship?
Right. So that was through my university. They had a Japan internship program essentially, where they tried to place students into Japanese companies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was actually the first time I applied to them. I guess I talked too much about games and stuff.
Yeah.
And so they're like, no, we want someone who's serious research. We don't want someone who just likes games. So then like I was like, hold on a second, let me rewrite it. So I sent them like a new statement, and then they were still on the edge. But then finally they agreed to like a phone interview, and I was able to hold my own there.
What was the university you graduated from?
It's a university called MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology.
Yeah, you heard about it once or so.
Some people might, I don't know. Like when I go home to Kansas, people are like, "What's that?" Like,
no one knows what's an MIT. You know, machine and training. Come on.
Exactly.
Boom, 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 boom.
It's like a baseball college.
You know, I was born in Massachusetts.
Oh, really?
Worcester, whatever.
You don't even know how to pronounce where you were born.
Because I was just born there. I didn't live there, you know. I was just born in the hospital there, but Worcester.
It's like a terrible place. It's like Western Massachusetts. It's like super boring.
I used to, like, my mom taught at a place called St. Mark's, a private school or something, and then, like, we lived in somewhere. I forgot where. But we lived in Boston for majority of it, like, you know, right on the edge of Cambridge and South Brighton or whatever. So,
Sure.
But oh man, Massachusetts winter sucks. But anyway, back to the shit of the Square Enix. So tell me, like, you know, what, like, so your duties were to like research shit, like, were you doing any like programming or coding the whole time you were there?
I mean, it was like computer science research. So basically, the whole thing was programming and software development. You mean like, because you have an idea, right? You have to like show proof of concept that it works.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, we're using like new technologies to try to figure stuff out. It's not. It was pretty fun.
You think it was like fun, good work experience for you?
Yeah, it's definitely good work experience. It was like sort of interesting because I got paid much less than I would at an American company because Japanese companies are all about seniority.
Yeah.
And so like, I'm just out of school, so like, you give me some barely living wage. Well, it's not terrible. But I did have to use my savings in order to work and live and also have all my hobbies.
I thought they were paying you a decent amount, but your rent was pretty high, I remember.
Yeah, I had a furnished apartment and right next to the Park Hyatt in Shinjuku. It was not cheap.
What floor were you on?
The floor I was only on the 5th floor, so that was not as bad.
But how big was do you remember how many square meters?
It was only like between 25 and 30. It was not big. But it's still expensive.
How much was your rent?
I think it was around 1,200 or whatever Ichiman you sent in.
Or you mean like Junimane?
Yeah.
So maybe like
that'd be so good.
Yeah, fuck. I pay Golma sent in for mine, so about 500. If you wanted to convert it over simply to dollars, if it was $1 for 100 yen, 580. He was paying 1,200.
That's not as accurate anymore, though.
Yeah.
Less than 80.
Hey, when you and I came here, it was like 127 to the dollar or something.
I can't believe it. I get like an email alert every day telling me like what the exchange rate is, and it's so depressing. Although it was good when I moved back from Japan.
Oh yeah,
I waited until like at the bottom and it's like cash in. I sent all my money over.
That's awesome.
But now it's terrible. Like I was like go to the ATM or withdraw like San Mon in, and it's like $400.
Oh, dude. What, like, is it hard on you coming back here with the dollar being so shitty?
Yeah, I mean it is, but I have some money, so.
And you're staying at a friend's place for free.
Yeah. No, I'm good. I still have a tea here. Yeah. I mean, I don't have to pay a hotel cost, so that's not bad. I got a cheap airline tickets as well, so I have a friend whose uncle works for Delta Airlines, so they have what you call buddy passes.
It's always the fucking people at Delta that hook my friends up with fucking cheap. This is a tip for you guys. Get a friend at Delta Airlines. Okay, so tell us, round trip ticket from, you come from California, right?
Yeah.
Okay, round trip ticket from where? San Diego?
San Francisco.
San Francisco to Tokyo. How long? Or how much?
$500.
My brain just went like, but I came a little.
And since if you're a buddy pass, you usually fly business class.
So you flew business class?
Yeah.
This guy, you can't really tell in here, but he's got fucking like big linebacker back right now. He's a wide motherfucker, dude. So business class.
It's much more comfortable.
How many people are in the rows on business class too?
2, yeah, exactly.
So you're gonna be flying back business class too?
Probably. And usually that happens that way because there's usually a lot more empty seats.
Yeah.
And since like the buddy passes are always standby, usually all the coach seats are full, so you get put in business class.
Wow.
But there's it's a downside too, like because it's like a cheaper ticket, like you are the first to get bumped off if the plane is full.
Yeah.
And so, but if you have some flexibility, then it's super convenient, which I do.
So you just go there and you spend the day at the airport.
Well, you have to. So you have like a seat request ticket for like a certain flight. Since there's only like one flight a day between like Tokyo and San Francisco, you just go for that flight and hope that you get on. Like earlier this week when I was coming here last week, I actually missed the first flight because like I guess the earlier flight had been canceled or something.
Yeah.
Because there was a typhoon. And so then like it was like a ton of people like had been moved to this flight, so it was kind of annoying. But besides, I mean, it was only 1 day difference, so it ended up being fine.
Is there any shit you missed from Japan that like you can't get in the States anymore?
Man, there's everything.
Let's start with food. What do you miss food-wise?
I miss the good Japanese curry, like go-go curry.
Oh.
Fucking major curry, 1,000 yen. It's super big. Also, I miss stuff like Yoshinoya, Matsuya, the Japanese fast food restaurants.
Yeah.
It's been a while where I would be up all night until at 4 a.m. and just go to Matsuya, get a curry or
You like Matsuya? I can't. I do Skia.
Oh, fair enough.
I don't know, Skia or Yoshinoya. Matsuya, it just seems like the beef's so rubbery. It feels like, I don't know.
I don't know. It might vary between the different locations.
Skia and Yoshinoya try to look nice, but Matsuya's just they did the McDonald's thing where they made all the walls yellow and shit, and everything's red and yellow, which are fast panicky colors, so everyone wants to leave, and their bowls are all plastic and shitty. I mean, these are plastic too, but these are.
Well, I mean, it was I could spend 400 yen or whatever and get a main dish plus salad and miso soup. I was complaining too much. It's pretty nice. I miss convenience stores too. They're way better than America doesn't really have convenience stores as far as I'm concerned.
Gas stations,
they're fine, but the ubiquitousness of all the everywhere, every two a street, every block has 2 or 3. And they all have classic stuff that is especially useful.
Are you afraid of getting mugged or getting beat up more now that you're back home?
Wait, in America?
Yeah, it's the safety factor.
Well, for me, it's not so big.
Well, you're a tall black man, That's, I mean, you're only half black, but people don't know that. So
exactly. I don't really ever concern myself with safety.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what about getting mugged or something? It doesn't matter if you're big or whatever. My wallet. My wallet is fucking, look at his head and look at my wallet. It's the same fucking size as his head. You could easily pull this out and fucking steal it, but...
It was attached to a chain.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why I got the chain, so anyone tries to snag it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's pickpockets. Obviously that's going to be happening more often in an American city than in Tokyo.
Yeah.
In Tokyo, people will just leave their wallet at the table to save their spot, and then go stand in line and then get their food, and no one will steal it. This is not something in America. It will be gone as soon as you're back.
What do you? But you came back home, so now you're driving everywhere again, right?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't in Boston, but now that I've moved to California, I drove from Kansas to California 2 days ago. And now I'm driving. Driving's fine, but California has a lot of people, so the traffic's.
How long is going to be your commute every day?
My commute's not bad. It's 10 minutes without traffic. I drive during rush hours, it might be 30 minutes. But chose to live close to the office.
That's better.
I probably end up buying a bike so I can bike to work.
Oh, dude, bike it up. He's got to get a fat guy bike, like, you know.
One of the recumbent.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Can lay down and go to work.
Well, so it's been 20 minutes. Do you have any, like, you know, all my viewers are young, beautiful young men who have not touched the Japanese vagina yet, probably, and are looking for advice from awesome people like you and me. What advice would you give to somebody who wants to work in Japan for a game company? Just in general, a game company. Like, what kind of skills do you think they need? Like, obviously, he didn't know any Japanese, and he still got a job.
I used some Japanese.
Well, I know, but you
I didn't.
You can't conversationally wise, like, you know, working in a normal office wise.
Right. I would be pretty out of place in a regular Japanese office.
So what would you recommend? Because it sounds to me like you just had really good connections from the get-go, kind of, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like, from my school, that helped, obviously.
So what should people do, you know, who are just looking for, do you have any general advice to give?
Yeah, like, well, I mean, first of all, if you have really strong, like, practical skills, that goes a long ways for, like, overlooking, like, your any kind of language deficiency.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, I mean, for game company, right? Like, the key, like, areas of game company that might be used, that they're looking for is, like, for programmers. If you're, like, an exceptional software engineer or whatever, then they'll overlook your Japanese deficiencies. If you're, even more than that is artists. So if, like, you have, like, a really outstanding portfolio, if you're a technical artist, I have a friend who actually, Sam also knows Sebastian.
Oh yeah, Sebastian.
Who got into Square Enix basically off his portfolio.
Yeah, our German friend. But, like, to be fair, he was really fucking good, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, that's just so, like, and also a new Japanese.
Like, our buddy Sebastian, he was from Germany. He didn't have a degree, but he had a huge portfolio of just amazing, beautiful 3D artwork that he made.
Yeah, he's I don't know.
He got a job at Square Enix too, I think. So.
Yeah, he worked in my group, so he's a good guy.
Do you think people need a degree to get a job at Square Enix?
I mean, it would make things much easier. Like, just in the fact for Square Enix to, like, show, like, because they get you with a visa, right? Like, if you don't have a degree, they have to do a lot more work.
Yeah.
To, like, sort of show that they needed to hire you instead of hiring, like, a regular Japanese person. So it's definitely useful. I mean, I think in general, everybody should get a college degree anyway.
Yeah, no, totally. Goes without saying.
I mean, because no matter, even if you don't go to Japan, like, even in America, your total lifetime earnings increases, like, doubles at least if you have a college degree.
I just think, like, you know, you're really kind of like, what is it? You're really settling down, or you're really narrowing down what you can do if you don't, like, at least if you have a degree in Japan, it kind of broadens the
like, so, like, a lot of people, like, I mean, a lot of, like, sort of, like, English teaching, right? Like, they don't even care what your degree's in. You just have to have them, and it's mostly because it makes it much easier to get you a visa.
Yeah. That's the only reason, guys. Like, you know, that's why they hire people who are married here that don't have don't have degrees here, just because they got the visa, you know, and they're Westerners. You know, I always say, like, oh, it's about the white people or whatever in Japan, but honestly, you just need to be a Western person who doesn't look scary, you know. And
that's why I can't teach English.
yeah, that's why he can't teach English. He's too intimidating. But I mean, like, yeah, it just seems like I get so many emails all the time being like, dude, I want to work for a game company or an anime company or some kind of Japanese company.
Don't work for an anime company, man. They get paid nothing.
Yeah, no, they get paid nothing. That's why I wanted to work for one, because I could teach English on the side, pay my rent and everything. And then I could still work for an anime company and make, like, each month in a day or something. You know, each month in a month. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean,
because I'm paying for the experience pretty much. You know.
And I think that's reasonable as long as you have that expectation.
Do you think what should people? Okay, so let's say these people. Okay, so you're saying they should have a really strong background in some practical skills, like some IT shit, if they want to get a job in general at, like, a company like that. If they have good practical skills for what a company is looking for, then they can probably get a job there without knowing that much Japanese.
Especially if it's an international company.
Was Square Enix an international company?
Yeah. I mean, especially now they bought Eidos, which is based in Montreal, and they also have, like, offices all over the world. So, but I mean, I have a friend who didn't know very much Japanese. He got hired at Greed.
Oh wow!
Which is like really still
social media.
Yeah. They're they're one of the largest platforms of
I hate their shit though. It's so stupid. Oh man, I hate their layout for their website and everything.
And for him, he was able to get his job just because he's pretty good at like telling a story. So he was like, here's my vision.
Yeah.
And so that was like, helpful in an interview, even though like his Japanese is not that good and they're a completely Japanese company.
Do you think, you said you had to live off your savings, would you recommend they come over with some money?
Almost certainly. Even if you are making like a good wage, like the initial moving costs are like substantial. If you have, especially if you go to like a nicer place, you have to pay like the key money and the deposit, plus like the first month's rent. Like that could be like easily like $5,000, even for like a cheaper, for a really cheap place, maybe that much, but for
Well, what about, like you said your company helped you though, so they helped you kind of with the initial getting in here process.
Yeah. They also they gave me like a signing bonus too for like relocation costs. So that was good. So I had that especially request to get it early, since they normally would only give it to me like during my first paycheck, but I needed it like to move in.
Yeah. What about I'm on an educational visa, so I'm on an instructor visa. But what visa were you on?
I was on an engineering visa.
Yeah. My buddy who worked for Sony, he was on an engineering visa too.
Yeah, actually my visa's still valid. So like when I came back.
Oh really?
Yeah.
You had a wait. Okay. He hasn't been back here in like a year or two, right? You had a 3-year visa.
Yeah.
His first working visa in Japan, he's got a 3-year visa. And you had like a re-entry permit,
yeah, multiple
right?
re-entry permits. I just came and she's like, here you go, stamp. They have much smaller lines for the re-entry.
Wow. Did you hear that, guys? That means like you can have a 3-year visa. He was gone for about 2 years, man. Like he still how many months do you have left on your visa?
Now it's only like 3 more. It's like it expires in October. I think.
He has like fucking like only 4 or 5 more months left on his visa, but he came back and like after 2 years of not living here, and like they just like bump, yeah, here you go.
It's like welcome home.
That answers a good question for you guys. That means if you get a visa, you don't need to be here for the whole time. Just get a visa. You can leave with the re-entry permit.
And make sure you get the re-entry permit.
Oh yeah, if you don't get that re-entry permit, they won't let you back into your visa's invalid.
Well, they might but it will be a hassle.
Yeah,
like,
it will be a really.
I had a friend who there was an intern at Square Enix while I was working there who left accidentally without getting it because he forgot, and like he just had to convince him that he was really supposed to be here.
Oh man!
But it's definitely worth it to get the re-entry permit. Especially on the multiple re-entry permits, it's a really good deal.
I think they're actually getting rid of that now.
Yeah, I did. When I came back, they gave me like a whole little piece of paper, like explaining like a bunch of new regulations. They're like, oh, he hasn't been back in a year. He must need to know about this.
I think that the only reason why they're getting rid of the re-entry permit is so they can be like, okay, you were out of the country too long, dude. Like, what the fuck? And then like, stamp your shit.
I was a bit worried. I was like, are they gonna like question what I was doing? Like from the address on my like Gaijin card is like not up to date.
They didn't ask you anything?
No. She's just like, look, find like the right card. Like, added one of my mini Japanese entry stamps.
Wow.
My passport is full of.
Yeah, dude. Like me and you, we probably have like like 5 or 6 stamps right now just in our passport just for fucking Japan. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I have like, and I get the certificate of eligibility or whatever. It's a whole page.
Yeah.
I have 2 of those now.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
So guys, I hope this interview was fun, informative, and sexual. I know it was sexual for me, man.
Every time.
Just squirted a little. But anyway, guys, I was my buddy Eric works for one of the big game companies in Japan. Covered the mic. Anyway, if any questions or whatever, write them down in the comments. I know people like this all around fucking Japan. You want me to interview some kind of person, you just tell me, I want you to talk to some kind of person, person who works for Square Enix, a big black man,
That's really cool.
a person who eats sushi, the black part. If you and I combined our powers together, we get we get a full white person, and then we get like a weird black, like terrorist kind of like mix,
I'd never be able to find an airplane again.
You'd be stealing it and then blowing it up, yeah.
Thanks for my plane.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, that's it. You guys stay black, keep it real. And yeah, talk to you later. Peace.